I read 100 Reddit breakup stories by Zodiac. Why do some people disappear suddenly like they just flipped a switch while others stay in dead relationships for years? Why do some exes disappear completely while others are emotionally attached always? I'm an astrologer and I kept seeing the same pattern. So I read 100 real breakup stories on Reddit and checked how zodiac energy shows up when people are hurt, messy, honest, and bestie. This was not subtle. What I was actually checking? I went through a big Reddit breakup polls, the ones with hundreds of comments where people straight up answer questions like which sign broke your heart, which ex messed you up the most, which sign do you still think about. At one point, I literally had to ask myself, why am I doing this unpaid research at 3 a.m? But I wanted to spot the patterns. So I tracked who leaves first, who stays too long, who goes, who needs closure, who keeps hoping, and I grouped everything by element: fire, earth, air, water. And once I did that, astrology stopped being abstract, literally. And girl, I think it deserves your like, because I literally started seeing dreams about breakups. My mind is full of this. Fun fact: Leo comes up a lot as a heartbreaker and the most unforgettable. But we will talk about all of them. First thing I noticed, fire signs rarely fade out. They don't slow burn the ending, they nuke the bridge. Let me show you my saved comments. I'm a Leo, I will always leave. Unfortunately, I have to see out the relationship for as long as my patience allows me, but Leos love to break up with people. Notice the wording, I will always leave. That's not emotional, that's a pattern. As a Leo, I will always sabotage or end it before it even happens again. Fire energy would rather destroy the bridge than risk standing on it unsure. One more. My Sagittarius ex dumped me 4 times in the span of 6 years. I'm a Sag and I've never been broken up with. I've ended every relationship, sometimes prematurely lol. See it? Fire doesn't wait to be left. I'm an Aries and I've dumped every single one of my partners. I'm at 10-0 right now. As an Aries, I've done most of the dumping. I usually do it early if I know it won't go anywhere. When you line this up, it stops looking like coincidence. Fire signs don't fade out emotionally. They don't disappear slowly. They cut. They exit. They nuke the bridge and walk away while it's still burning. This is why it's being broken up with a fire sign feels sudden, even when it wasn't. And one stat, a Reddit poll with more than 1,300 votes. What signs hold onto exes the most and least? 47 voted Sagittarius as least likely to hold onto an ex. Leo and Aries also top the quickest to move on category. In other threads, I read a lot about how much fire signs tend to be ghosters, so I basically have a whole rating system with different criteria. So fire summary: ghost power, 9 out of 10. Comeback after breakup, 2 out of 10. Toxic trait, emotional ghosting. There and then gone. Now Earth. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. At first glance, Earth signs look chill, but under the surface, they also can be the masters of the heartbreak. But they do it more aesthetically. So look at the top comments I highlighted. Taurus, Sun, Pisces, Moon. Definitely very emotional and can't accept the change. But once I'm done, there will be love, but from a complete distance. This is classic Earth. Once the decision is made, the door closes and never opens again. Taurus Sun, Scorpio Moon, and I lose 30 lbs. Because I have no appetite and nothing means anything anymore. It takes a long time to get over. So as you see, earth signs suffer more than fire when it comes to the breakup. It goes inward and shows up in the body. But I want to show you more. Virgo Sun, I do the same thing virtually, act like they died plus block all contact and become a raging workaholic. But I do cry in the shower. And one more, I'm a Capricorn male and personally I have the advantage of turning off my feelings whenever I want. I'm too distant. So earth signs, they do not go impulsively. They don't just disappear in a burst. But once they are done, there is no drama, no return, no reopening the door. This is why being broken up with by an earth sign doesn't feel explosive. It feels final. Now to the stats about Earth zodiacs. Lots of people named Taurus as most likely to never let go of an ex. Virgo, most likely to keep things cordial. Capricorn, most likely to ice you out after closure is given. So Earth summary, ghost power 5 out of 10, more likely to fade than vanish. Comeback 5 out of 10. They can do that, but you have to be too meaningful for them. Toxic trait, quiet loyalty. Will not say a word, but will never forget. Next, air. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If fire signs run, air signs, they doubt and talk. Even after break. Like the relationship ends, but the conversation continues for 3 more business months, Before the breakup, it's endless analysis, mixed signals, and we need to talks. And even after this, they can come back talking about something one more time. But it's better to see that from the comments I say. They can be gone for months or years. Then they just randomly call like, I heard this joke and I knew I had to tell you. See it? They do not restart the relationship, but they restart the conversation. Aquarius is definitely depending, but once that switch goes off, you no longer exist. So yeah, they can talk. They can stay friends, they can stay connected, they are really afraid to let go. But once they mentally detach, you're done. I'm a Libra and I've stayed friends with exes as long as things ended well. I've also dated an Aquarius and a Gemini, and both of them tried to stay friends with me. And one more. Libra, if the breakup wasn't too messy, they might not come back directly, but they'll definitely find an excuse to reach out and test the waters. So I gather the stats, and this is what we have. Libra and Aquarius, they were consistently ranked in the top group for reopening communication. Gemini showed up the most in comments describing unfinished breakups, relationships that technically ended but emotionally kept going. Water summary, ghost power 4 out of 10, block, unblock, block again, comeback 9 out of 10, haunted by nostalgia and what if? Toxic trait, haunted memory, they never leave your head or your Insta likes. And then we have water signs, which is where Reddit becomes a novel. Water signs, they, feel everything deeply. And for water, love isn't just a relationship. It's an attachment. Check this. As Pisces, we're just very sad and very sorry for ourselves and are more likely to quietly stalk you and leave pathetic little notes in your mailbox than make a scene. They don't want to destroy the connection. They want to feel it a little longer. Pisces Sun. By the second year, I realize I'm not really into them. The actual breakup starts around maybe 4 years and is over by 4.5 years. This one is important. For water signs, the breakup doesn't start when they say the words. It starts internally, years before ending, years in advance. Take it into account and let's move to the next one. Cancer and Scorpio are literally the most attached signs. Any air sign move on faster than us. So water doesn't just remember people, they remember how it felt. This is why water signs do not move on. They carry emotional memory with them. So before the breakup, water signs are loyal, hopeful, emotionally invested. How they decide? Slow, often delayed. Water will try to fix it with emotion first. They will hold on the potential, but they do not just miss the person. They bond to the memories. So, Cancer and Scorpio were named the most emotionally attached in breakup threads. Pisces came up the most in the stories about long and delayed breakups. Cancer showed up repeatedly in can't move on but won't leave dynamics. Water summary: Ghost power 3 out of 10. They do not disappear, they distance emotionally and they watch quietly. Comeback 10 out of 10. Not always to restart the relationship, but to reconnect or reminisce. Toxic trait: emotional attachment, bonds to memories, potential, and how it felt. Okay, now I want all of these comments more clear, because as you remember, I wanted to track some patterns. After reading all these stories, there is one thing that became very obvious. People do not break up randomly. They break up in patterns. Fire signs, they leave fast and decisively. And Leo really shocked me here. Earth signs stay too long and leave once, for good. Taurus surprised me with how hard they hold on. Air signs talk, disappear, come back, and keep the door half open. Water signs, they attach deeply and emotionally. Cancer and Pisces hit the hardest. So no, astrology doesn't predict breakups. It explains how people handle endings. If this video made you think of someone, you know why. So like it, save it, and tell me in the comments which sign broke your heart. I know that there is a pattern. Love you and see you next time.